welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we are still in Camp Broken Glass and want to continue our main story quest into a counterattack against the Telophoroi after that thing what happened last time, the mass tampering attempt and everything. Gateway of the Gods. Are you well enough to make your report? This Anima was summoned with a corpse of Emperor Varus. Does their depravity know no bounds? It seems not. More to the point, we can surmise that wave of aether issued not from the Tower of Babil, but from a primal lurking within it. A primal's cries rang rather more loudly in your ears than ours. If you were taken to the tower itself, then this proves beyond the shadow of a doubt that it is the beating heart of the Telophoroi's machinations. In which case, we have some highly relevant information. As many of you know, ever since we dispatched troops to free the Leveilleurs, we've been developing a plan to infiltrate the tower. According to Thancred and the scouts, the main structure is lousy with tempered and enemy magitech. Furthermore, the road leading to it has collapsed, making it difficult to approach in numbers. Thus do we propose dividing our forces into two parties, one to distract and one to infiltrate. The diversionary force will be comprised of the Ishgardian, Gridanian and Luminsan delegations. They will begin the construction of bridges to make the Telophoroi believe we are marching upon the tower. Meanwhile, the best suited of our Alamegan, Ul'dan and Eastern comrades will use a different method of ingress. Look here. The facility marked in red is the Enceladium, a vast magitech manufactory, in ruins now of course. But the freight tunnel connecting it to the erstwhile Imperial Palace remains intact. Where the Telophoroi's attention is elsewhere, our infiltration force can use it to enter the tower undetected. Be aware, however, that the underground rail network remains very much operational. The Tembert are using it to bring supplies to the tower even now. If it can carry the material, it can carry us too, providing we sneak aboard unseen. The Science will lead the infiltration party. Once inside, you must locate and dispatch Van Daniel and Xenos. It's time we ended this once and for all. Aye, there will be no more casualties of the Telophoroi's maniacal ambitions. How quickly can we enact this plan? Van Daniel made it quite clear that haste is a priority. Of paramount concern even, assuming he didn't name the tower Babil on a whim. In Amon's time, it meant Gateway of the Gods. Zandi used it to refer to a void gate, but in this case, it almost certainly alludes to something altogether greater. The eldest and most powerful of primals. All the more reason to act now. The rest of the contingent is aware of the plan and are ready to move at a moment's notice. You are to proceed north to Forum Patens. Lisa's group will meet you there. As ever, we are grateful for your foresight. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Spare no effort in your preparations. Lisa's party ought to have secured the tunnel by now. Wander with them and make your way inside. May the Fury guide you, and that's all. Those not taking part in the assault will defend this camp and the airships, as well as safeguard your escape route from the tower. You need not worry about what comes after, so fight with all you have. I'm to accompany you into the tower. It's an honor, as ever. These damn frigid glands. The sun does not sneak. However, we will travel this path of yours, and those who walk with him will bask in his radiance. Desiree, the way into the tunnel is clear. We made sure of it. Then we best get in there before we freeze, especially you. The shoe will be on the other foot once we're in, believe you me. The good fight should warm us right up. Barely enough cloth to swaddle a newborn. Clearly you have spent too long around this feral dog of a fowl. Watch your tongue, fool, lest I feed it to the crows. We will see you as a fool when you freeze to death. Expect me not to warm your ill-prepared hide. These thoughts are for myself and my Nama alone, should I be blessed to meet her this day. As if any woman of worth would wish to be warmed by you, little son. Should we find such a warrior within, she will bask in my glorious flame. Stop, both of you. Save your fire for the enemy. As for extra force, I have plenty to spare. As do we. Can't have new skins in the dungeon, right? Hello everyone. All set for battle, I see. Yes, free of unnecessary encumberments, if rather more sustainable to the cold. Let's review our strategy, quickly if you don't mind. Pippin's group has gone ahead to the Enceladium. We are to meet them there. We wait until the Temper's attention is drawn by our diversionary force, when we sneak onto the train. Next stop, the Tower of Babil. If any, Tempered included, are injured, we Zayla will tend to them. You Science must press on no matter what. We should avoid moving as a group until we are undercover, so we need to make our own ways to the Enceladium. See you there. Fear not, no serious wounds have gone untreated, nor will I stand for being left behind while the rest of you rush headlong into danger, so I needn't bother suggesting it. We'll stagger our department so as not to raise suspicion. You go on ahead. Who could possibly be cold at a time like this? My heart is pounding with anticipation. Cold? Nay, I feel nary a thing, nary a thing. When I infiltrated the palace with Gaius, we took an entirely different route. Since then, the whole place has been reconstructed, and it would appear that path is no longer accessible. And you're 100% certain you're fit to fight? No odd specters haunting your wake? Nothing feels tingly? I think it's time I was off. If I look at Oyuyanji for one more moment, I'm liable to freeze solid. Besides, I'm welcome to our spare force as well. You might mention it to Oyuyanji. Just head north and you'll reach the Enceladium soon enough. I crave battle, not this insipid shatter. A glorious flame. Nay, I would have seen it were it so. Now that the Tempered ones are aware of our plan, they will doubtless start pouring in at any moment. But needn't worry, my brothers and I see that none shall pass. Go forth and wreak your destruction. You, Fenrir, and the others go on ahead. We'll make sure you're not pursued. Desiree, you will take up the rear so as to ensure you're not caught unawares. Trust that we have always your back. Now, go finish this fight. Hey, it's good to see you, Desiree. We heard that you collapsed, but we're given only the most cursory explanation. I'm glad you've recovered, and quickly enough to take part in the operation at that. And you will have heard, we've secured the way in. Some few are to remain behind to keep your escape route clear. Our comrade from Lentis Tears will lead the way into the station. I'll join you soon. The station is right this way. Tread lightly now. This is everyone. Consider the enemy well and truly distracted. Time to go. Our primary objective is, of course, for Telophoroi's leaders. But should we be presented with an opportunity to vanquish Anima, we must seize it. If it is indeed the force behind the towers, destroying it will deliver our allies from the Telophoroi's reign of terror. And I, for one, would not see the Garlean people manipulated any longer, be by Primal, Ascian, or anything else. Here, there's been enough of that. We came to help the people of Garlemald, and that's what we're going to do, together. Till the very end. The train should be along any moment now. Prepare to board, everyone! The Tower of Babil is now accessible. Our second dungeon after the Tower of Zod. Strange, though this will be a more fearsome fight than any Nadam, I feel at peace. Maybe it's because I have Sadu, Magna and you at my side. Maybe it's because we fight for all Zayla and more peoples besides. There's but one path, that which leads to victory. The train we're boarding is meant to carry supplies and armaments and the like. With any luck we can slip past the Tempered as they go about loading the freight. It's likely that Anima at least will notice when we enter the tower. There's no point in trying to stay hidden after that. So when the time comes, I say don't overthink it and cut a path straight through. Your comrades tell me that the Telophoroi abducted you on the selfsame eve they rudely interrupted our meal. A brazen feat that would make a Boduga proud. But even had it not ended poorly, it was a disappointment in many respects. I've decided that when we return triumphant, we only will hold a far grander feast on the Azim Steppe. You have permission to attend. Aye aye, kill no man, I have not forgotten your instruction. I must settle for crushing the Iron Man's toys. Their blue blood will feed my flames. We were only able to ascertain that the tunnel connects to the tower. I fear I have little to offer as to the details of the interior or present situation therein. If Daniel is to be believed, we don't have the luxury of time to scout ahead, so we'll have to trust in your instincts. They've served us well enough so far. 'Tis no meager delight to watch Alize and Alphino grow more resolute in mind and heart. And remarkable though their accomplishments may be, I doubt not that they are destined for still greater things. Grant them thy protection, Master Louisoix, I implore thee. If Daniel truly is Amon, to create a gate through which a primal may pass will not be beyond him. From what I gather, he was utterly brilliant and utterly mad. Assuming that Daniel intends to make Zodiac serve as a catalyst for her final days, one cannot but wonder if he willingly parted ways with the other Ascians long ago. Surely they wouldn't have permitted the very god they created to forestall the world's end to be used in such a way. When Xenos murdered Varus, Gaius was upon him in an instant. Seldom have I seen such fury. I won't pretend to know the bond they shared, but pain, fear, rage, I know them well. I know what can drive a man to drown in them. Though his homeland may have wished for his blade, my lands will war in its stead. I'm only too aware that our intervention may not be what many of Garlemald's people want or need right now. Not every tragedy can be laid at the feet of a Telophoroi. Certainly not that of Licinia and her sister. Nevertheless, we must follow our conscience, and mine has led me here. Much as I'd like to be the one to wipe the grin off Van Daniel's smug little face, I haven't lost sight of why we're here. Our ultimate goal is to prevent the Telophoroi from doing any further harm, no matter how. But if I do get the chance to introduce my fist to his jaw, and gods I hope I do, I won't turn it down. The Tower of Babil.
Now or never.
Okay. We'd better clear the train of threats before we arrive, or things could get nasty. Unworthy curse.
My turn.
We're slowing down. Our destination must be close. Look, captives. Help me free them. You let me leave him in our care? Along.
You cannot stop us.
You underestimate me!
A moment's reprieve. From here onwards, we should split into 3 groups to divide their attention. And leave them peeping over that way. And we face the boss. Barnabas. My beautiful little boy will keep this tower free of vermin. Ouch, what are you doing, you foolish boy? The vermin are over there! This boot's far from bright.
You're mine!
What happened? I was blind. Okay, somehow I messed up.
Mitre. You're mine! You cannot stop us! Mitre. There!
Okay, same polarity, so we stay close to be pushed away.
You cannot stop us!
All or nothing!
Mitre.
Fool! You underestimate me!
Whoa, Astinian! Alright. Is this the best they can do? The Iron Man's contractions were no match for the sun. What could they possibly need such an enormous lift for? There's Lees and Pippin. There's Magne and Sadu. Enemies in here?
You're mine!
Preening fools, stay alert! The sun does not head to the barking of feral dogs.
Prepare yourself! You're mine!
This will hurt.
So our paths diverge, and let us see who gets there first. There must be a way to reach the upper level. And the second boss, Dr. Luge. Luge and Barnabas were bosses from Final Fantasy IV. Pathetic creature. Ah, I teach you to underestimate my genius.
You cannot stop us!
Look upon the face of fear. Heavy and breathless. If we get too many breathless stacks, we die. Become a toad to avoid that.
You cannot stop us!
Nothing quite that good old-fashioned explosions.
You're mine!
Lord Xenos put me in charge for a reason. I left your heads for playthings. Shrink down to avoid those.
I have you!
There's downpour again. Casters, you may have bested me, but you're no match for Lord Xenos. Thanks for waiting. I trust all is well. There's a Magnite fighting over there. Go, I shall deal with these whelps. What is this foul stench? Ethereal distortion. And back where we already see Anima. The cause of so much misery. Armored weapons.
You're mine!
You underestimate me!
I only hit 2, so it's not worth it.
There!
Okay. Already got it, okay.
This will hurt.
You cannot stop us!
There's Anima. No more game. This ends here. Icon of icons, Anima. Interestingly enough, Anima is not from Final Fantasy IV, but from Final Fantasy X.
You're mine.
Look where we don't have a back corner, where we don't build a circle.
You underestimate me.
My turn.
One far enough away so it becomes a normal tether, not the special one. Boundless pain. Anima begins feeding on souls. Get dragged in the middle and need to run out.
You're mine.
Imperatum. Face change. A horrific roar tears at the fabric of reality. Wails of lamentation call forth chaotic energy. So this is a timed thing. Defeat this Anima before the counter goes full.
My turn.
Yeah, if you have that marker, run to the corner and then straight across to the other side because the attack follows you. I need some distance to the start.
You cannot stop us. There.
Left and right. The altered reality plunges into chaos. Yep, this is based upon Anima's overdrive in Final Fantasy X.
There. You cannot stop us.
You're mine. Time to end this.
You're mine.
Hey, I see you.
Try and stop me!
Come on. Glory, glory, glory be. No one would wish for such an abomination. I wanted to talk to Thancred. The embodiment of Garlemald's hopes and dreams, was it? The orchestrators of a chaos are nowhere to be seen. Where are Xenos and Daniel? What doth lie within these countless vials? Agony made flesh. How could love for one's nation give rise to such a monstrosity? So, with that I say, until next time then, I'm Ace, and don't get lost.